Welcome to In the Static. I'm your host, Brandon Keith Osborne. This is our third episode here at In the Static. We talk about creating things without asking for permission, kind of DIY projects and everything in between. Today, my guest is Killah Priest.
Yo, what's up, my man?
He is, I call you family, man.
Yeah.
You're a good family man.
No doubt, no doubt.
He is affiliated with Wu-Tang Clan, founding member of Sons of Man, among other things, the Horsemen. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a pleasure to have you on here, man.
Yep. Royal Priesthood. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me come through. Man, it's been a while, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Got a lot to catch up on.
I was just thinking, I was like, Priest is like one of those deep minds, Every time I have a conversation with you, it's not like, did you catch the game last night? It's like, if you could travel at the speed of light, where would you go?
Yeah, man, it's a lot. It's a lot out there. It's a lot to take in, and it's random that you meet like minds, like yourself, and it's good to have a conversation that's just different type of topics and stuff like that. That's what keep me going.
Yeah, we got a chance to meet, and I actually filmed a music video for you.
Yes, we can talk about that. It's gonna be good.
It was for your track Heavier Mental.
Yes.
And what was that experience like?
Man, that was crazy. It was the time. It was during the COVID, the pandemic. I like to say. Yeah, man. Everything came together just right. Everybody was feeling down, and I was just like, man, that's just gave me the motivation to start creating. And I was like, I just feel like doing something that'd be good for the fans. Just like I was holding off on doing another Heavy Mental, so I just said, well, let's do a song called Heavier Mental. And was working with Sean, who we both know. And Sean, we got a crew together, and I just started working inside the house in the studio. So I just invested in my own equipment going in, and I just started creating, boom, boom, every day. And so it came up there, and I didn't have a lot of producers, so I had to learn myself. I started rewinding, started making beats right then and there, so it had a genuine sound that came up out of it, And then I would talk to some DJs here and there, and then boom, you came. Then you came through, and how everything was. I want to spoil the moment, but you was a big part of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like. Even coming up with the title of the album was crazy, man.
Because I kind of remember we were having one of our like little rap one-on-one sessions.
Yeah,
and you say that I named it Rocket to Nebula.
Yeah, we were talking about. I remember good. We was talking about the speakers, the rocket, and I was trying to think of. I was like, maybe I could call it Heavier Mental or something like this. He was like. You put it together. You just said, "Yo, man, Rocket to Nebula." Yeah. you said, "That's it." And I said, "That's it, perfect."
Yeah.
And we was going back through. You just what you said was you said, "Well, why don't you make it the Rocket?" You kind of got it, the whole thing. You said, "Why don't you just go all the way there? Just make it all the way Rocket to Nebula." And I was like, "That's it." And when you hear it the first time, you know it when it is, and you came up with that. And I was like. Ran with it, and now my podcast was named after that, the whole thing. And you shot the first video, man. You put it together and everything.
It's legacy now.
Legacy, man, legacy. We got to play it.
Yeah.
You got to play it.
The song you mean?
Yeah, the video. The video you did. Yeah.
The video. Well,
yeah.
For listeners, you can go check out Killah Priest on YouTube and just type in heavier mental.
Yeah,
and you'll see the video that we made together.
Crazy the way you put together the dark ambient, the snake, all of that stuff. It was great. And we had
I shot that with a buddy of mine, Nick Alfaro.
And
Jacob.
Yes.
those are two of the homies, and I remember that was a really fun project. So
yeah, and RZA brother came. Remember?
Yeah.
RZA, Matt Knife Prince came through. So RZA and he was trying to get all of them, like, you know, as much as we could. But you know, Knife came. He shot him. He was in the video. That was dope. That's RZA's youngest brother. You know, man. Shout out to Killah Army.
Yeah.
So it was great. It was great, man. It was like, yo, and it was a good vibe because we just like all family. We right up the block. So so that's how it sounded, the way it sounded, and looked the way it looked. It was real good.
Yeah, it was very like personal and kind of intimate, because I think it was. Were we on lockdown, or it was like
we were locked down? Nothing was open.
Yeah.
Nothing was open, and every day stuff was happening. It wasn't like completely locked down, but it was like every day was like, this is shut, this is shut, this is shut, and then
so we kind of had to like just do our own thing, and
we guerrillaed it
and be careful, you know.
We guerrillaed
social distancing,
social distance, and
but strangely, you know, like that kind of opened us up to some creativity, you know, and some heavier conversations.
That's right.
You know, so.
Yeah, man, heavy. We shot that in Sean's crib, right?
Yeah. In his apartment downtown.
Yeah. And how you made the whole thing look dark. I was like, oh yeah, you dope.
Yeah.
Dope. So yeah, that was special. That was a special time.
Yeah.
And talking deep, it was just deep stuff we was talking about at that time. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So let's rewind a little bit to Young Priest.
Okay.
You grew up in Brooklyn, New York?
Yeah. BK. When you say Brooklyn, sometimes, well, I was born in I was born in Bushwick. Yeah, when we say Brooklyn, so it's like every part.
Yeah.
So
Brooklyn's big.
Yeah, Bed-Stuy is where I grew up, and then Brownsville. So I started moving around, and then you know, I came up in Bed-Stuy, and then I moved to Brownsville shortly afterwards.
That's crazy. I actually stayed in Bed-Stuy because when I graduated college, I thought I was gonna move to New York because everybody thought my photography style, like, oh, you should be in New York.
Yeah.
And a buddy of mine had an apartment in Bed-Stuy, so I'm actually familiar with that place.
Your style, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Your style is very new, stylish, dope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fashion. Yeah. So I can see that. Yeah. It was just dope. Moved around, and that's where I got my start at. This all started in Brooklyn.
Did you, in Spider-Man how he gets bit by a spider?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's Spider-Man. Did you have that? You have that hip hop moment where you're like, this is what I want to do?
Yeah. Yeah, I could say it was the Wu emblem. It was a group called All It Together. All It Together now. The Together Brothers, right? So get it right. So it was Jizza. His name was just a large us, and he had Old Dirty, which is his cousin, and RZA. We never saw RZA though. We just saw Dirty, and I knew the Genius at that time, so-called the Genius, and the All In Together Brothers. And so I would say their rhymes at my school. I would go there, say their rhymes, because we had a group called the Cool and 3 MCs. So I would say some of their rhymes, and it was like, oh, because I had no routine. Well, we just write with my group called the Cool and 3 MCs, and we would battle there, and then it got back to the Genius that somebody was saying it was me. I would let them know that. Yeah, I was saying his rhymes at the I would do their routine all in one. So it was 3 different rappers, but I would say each other line.
Each part.
Yeah. And then I started to develop my own after that. Yeah. So Jizzle, it all started in battling, going back and forth, and I was bit by hip hop very early right there. And also I got to give it to Son C too. Son C from the Onyx, he grew up with us, and he was actually more closer to my age. And so we grew up like cousins. And before he moved to Queens, he was from Brooklyn, and his name turned from Tyrone to T-Ski, and I was like, "You're T-Ski now?" Everybody was changing their name. I couldn't believe it because my mother took me down south. And so when I came back, everybody had different names. They were breakdancers, so I had to change my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, ready.
What was your first name?
My first name, it was Walter the Water of Love.
Walter the Water of Love. All right.
That's like a singing name for rap, but I didn't know, you had to have ski or D. I didn't know, I just said I want to be different than Walter the Water of Love. And I guess I don't know what was going through my mind. I was thinking of a singer or something like that. And that's what it was, though.
It was the 90s.
Yeah, 90s, yep.
Speaking of GZA in the 90s, I believe that the 30 year of Liquid Swords just happened.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's great. So GZA just called me like at around 4 a.m. And I know when there's something like that, he goes, "Wow, you still up?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "I have this show in Santa Cruz." Yeah, was good. He says, "Man, could you meet me there?" And I said, "Well, you gonna fly me?" I said, I can't get there that quick. He said, I said, "But I'll tell you what, I can drive. I can rent a car and stuff like that." So he was like, "Meet me there." And then we'll talk because we want to do a couple of things. You know what this month is Liquid Swords. And I said, "Man, I'm there, bro. I'm there." So I went and I met him in Santa Cruz. And then we drove out there to Santa Cruz. And then he was like, "Now we got another show in Reno." So I was like, wait a minute, I was only prepared for one. I knew it was a tour. But they had to put me on that. It was the Liquid Swords. And he's doing it with a live band. And we did Bible. So that's how all of that stuff started. It was a trip.
And Bible is basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is probably one of your more known appearances. So take me back to when you first recorded that to like performing it 30 years later.
Man, that's a trip, man. It was just a rhyme, right? And it only had one verse. And I credit GZA for making it into a song, because I only had one verse and I had the title. But he said, "Yo, in order to use it, you should make it a song," because it was just a rhyme. And I would just say the first verse and I would stop. And he goes, "Yo, if you add another verse to it and then maybe a hook, then there's a song." And I didn't know how to make a song. So I was like, okay, I'll just make another verse. And I listened to, just songs that I heard in the studio. Oh, okay, just repeating the hook. And I had to come up with a hook and things like that. And basic instruction before leaving Earth. Life is a test, maybe quest to universe. It's just thing I was going through at that time, because it was real to me. And so he put it on, he said, "When you finish the song, I'll put it on my album." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Watch, you're gonna have a song." And then I went to RZA house and recorded there. Fourth Disciple. Yeah, finding a beat for it was crazy too, because it was a different type of song until I found that beat. Yeah, it made it. It used to be more like a rock hymn, like knowledge is wisdom. This goes back when I was 12. But that beat, when I heard Fourth Disciple beat, it made me slow down and like, oh man, because the Wu was coming with a whole new different sound. Yeah. And I was like, I like this sounds with the voice sampling and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the kind of
right.
I mean, that time with Wu-Tang and everything coming out was like they took hip hop in a totally different direction, and it wasn't. I'm struggling to find the words, but like it was a step away from like the commercial hip hop, and it was more lyrical. It was more prose, more
in the closet
telling stories,
Yeah, in the closet with the microphone in the mop closet,
which is what this show's all about. Like it's just like we're just gonna go make stuff because we love it.
Yeah,
so
that's dope.
I can totally see myself.
Oh man, come on, man.
There, seeing it happen, but
that's the thing. If you think of things, if you heard of that? Like if you can write it down, you can kind of predict your future. If you think it will happen. Manifestation. Yeah. I believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so you're very known for being a spiritual guy. and I just read online, you know, J. Cole, what he said about you.
Yeah, man. Oh man, that was crazy.
Yeah. So
Man.
he says he discovered your song NASA Case, and it's like a 9.5 minute song.
Yeah.
And he listened to it like 9 times, and he says the more I listened to it, the more clearer it got.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of like I said before, you're like a deep thinking mind, you know, like, so you bring that sort of thought pattern into your rhymes, and is like, what's that process like for you?
Man, it's just thinking outside the box. It was that was planned. I was building with a couple of my brothers, and we always try to push the envelope, just like when we built and with Rockets and Nebula, and like it's like one person don't do it. It's just inspiration comes from everybody. So I get inspired just by talking to brothers, and I was like, how can I implement that in the hip hop? I always wanted to talk about UFOs. They call them UAPs now, and I was like, well, what about a story? And I always tried to get. I wanted to just rhyme with no hook, just go. And push myself and see how far it could go. And that's exactly what I did at the time now by investing into the studio. I just sit there and just go. I just go. And it didn't happen in a day. I would just, when I stop, I just stop. And I come back to it. Fresh ears. I just go, okay, I'll pick it up from here. You know, man, just keep going.
Yeah, I think J. Cole even said, he's like, this guy's an alien, man.
Alien coming back. Yeah, man. I think I'm crazy sometimes, man. I think I am a little off. Well, are we all?
Yeah, I mean, I'd argue that everybody who creates something has to have a level of insanity a little bit, you know? Like,
Yeah.
If it was normal, nobody would care.
Right. Marvin Gaye, think about that. Nirvana, just taking different things, and Led Zeppelin, you know what I'm saying? Just like creating things and pushing the envelope, because there's more than just 24 tracks. And I was like, we in the studio and you got 48 tracks. We only using 3. Why not just push it and push it to another level and see what happens? Who cares? It's just music at the end of the day. That's how I felt.
Yeah, because 9.5 minutes of a rap song is unheard of. Like, I mean,
right.
There's a story of Queen, right? And they wrote Bohemian Rhapsody, and all the studio execs were like, "This is too long. You need a radio hit. Like, it needs to be 3 minutes or whatever." And Freddie Mercury's like, "No, I'm making this song," and so big ups for you for going after something like that. You know?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Queens too.
Yeah.
I mean, Queen.
You heard that story?
Yeah, man. I saw the movie and everything. He was on another level, man. Yeah, he was on another level. He's up there with Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, in his voice and how they did it, that was crazy. And I'm a big fan of that movie too. Yeah, Bohemian. Yeah.
So you have this, long storied hip hop career, and then take me into, now you have the Podcraft. You call it the Podcraft, not podcast.
Yeah.
And you've become like this public figure. Like, talk to me about that kind of transition of streaming and how you got into it and what you love about it.
Right. So it's the same process. It was all during the pandemic. The pandemic rocket launched me into another orbit, and it was
to Nebula.
Yeah, to Nebula, man. Rocket to Nebula. So all of that was based off just the Podcraft, and everything started from the pandemic. I would say plan, and from there, I was like, "Yo, let's talk," because I just want to express myself. And I went to my boy AD. And I said, I wish I would have known, at that time we could have all put stuff together, because we was talking about some stuff, me and Sean. Mm-hmm. And it was Ghost who gave me the idea. I would talk to Ghost every day on the phone, and he said—
Ghostface.
Yeah, Ghostface Killah, man. Shout out to him. And we would talk about doing a podcast. I said, yo, let's do a podcast, because Ghost is funny, and a lot of people don't know that. He's hilarious, and he had and I can't think real quick, but funny as a mug. And so I was like, yo, we could just take this to streaming. And so when I went up to do it, I said, I'm gonna get the guys. I know my man who I work with when I'm doing music. His name is AD. So I was working with him in OC. I went to him and said, let's do a podcast. He's like, what podcast? Blah, blah. Yeah, he's like, podcast. And his mind works like that. And he's like, okay, I got to figure this out. He'll just jump on it and figure it. He just figured out, I got it. Figured out how to do it. We need a mic, boom, boom, boom. And he just set it up. And then we just
in 2020, podcasts weren't new, but I think that's like when people started paying attention because they're like, oh, I need more content and whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when, I remember a time starting to look for shows and things to listen to, but I hadn't really known what it was. So you're kind of ahead of the curve again in that respect, right? So.
Yeah. Like I said, the pandemic, man. And, just jumping. I mean, you had Joe Buttons, and that's crazy. He started with his girlfriend, but mine was authentic. Like, yo, I'm gonna just go out there and we're gonna talk about. We didn't know the first show we did was called Fear, right? It was the acronym of Fear, and I just came up with that. We just was sitting up there, and he turned it on. It's like, okay, so we're here now. And it was just like, whatever, and then people started saying, yo, it looks like you're just having fun. You're just sitting there conversating and just going, and then it just popped off. It started rolling.
Yeah.
It started rolling.
And so now you have guests like Flea. Like, what was it like talking to Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Shout out to Flea, man. That was amazing. Again, man, I got to give you props, man, for giving me the Rocket to Nebula. That's why this is a special. As soon as you called me, I was like, I'm on that. I got to get on this show, man, in the static. That Flea wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have did Rocket the Nebula.
Really?
Yeah, man. So there you go again. Thank you again. So Rocket the Nebula, he contacted me through Instagram, and I was like, wait a minute, what's this? And then shout out to Brock.
Did you think it was fake or something?
Yeah, I was tripping because I would do a live, and then I was doing my exercise and stuff. I gotta get back to it, but doing my exercise, so I would get on the Instagram every morning, and I would play music and just sounds and stuff like that, and I would do Building with Priest in the morning. And I saw Flea, and I go, what's this? What's this? And he told me, yo, I love the album. And then I got in the DM. It said, this is Flea, yo, this is the best album. Then he did what J. Cole did. He started talking about it, and everybody started hitting me going, Flea is bigging up your album. And he contacted me, and he said, yo, the conversation, he said, I love the album. And I said, would you be on a podcast? He said, of course I would. He came by himself. Yeah, he came by himself, Flea, walking through, just walking out this. I had to go down to meet him. He was just walking through the garden, boom, boom, and that was it. I was shocked, man. It was great, and he loved the whole concept of Rocket the Nebula, and he broke out the guitar. We just had fun. That was something different, man. Yeah, it was something different for an artist like that. And I think what happened was it was the authentic. Because you were there, you know what I'm saying? My man Sean, shout out to Sean. So we was downtown LA, man, and we was just living our life, just doing it up, and we didn't have nothing. You was there, and we was just all putting stuff together and brainstorming. And I think that brought out a lot out of us, you know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of spiraled, and it started rolling from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to credit you too, because I think I was in sort of like a pause moment in my filmmaking career. I was just kind of like living day to day, and so it was so refreshing to meet you and have those conversations and be like, oh, we're creating now. And like kind of like the Peter Parker spider bite is like, oh, I got my juice packed.
There you go.
And I didn't really stop from there. Like, I've been trying to build my filmmaking career from there, and I think we got to make a new video, right? Like,
man, let's do it. Yeah, man, look at this right here, man. Yeah, exactly. You got it going with the podcast. That's dope. And of course, we got to make another video, man. That's crazy because that spark. Imagine what it sparks next.
Yeah. Do we have to come up with a new concept, or do you have stuff you're working on?
Yeah, definitely. Always.
Do we want to save it or share anything?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll let you hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you two. You could choose to do two of them. Kind of do. I never did one for well, I did a cartoon version for Nassau Case, but I got some stuff that's out there that you probably like.
Yeah, the weirder the better. Right?
Right.
I think the weird is our lane. I
think
we should stick to that.
You know? Rocket the Nebula. Yeah,
I mean,
keep it in Nebula.
If Flea thinks it's cool, if J. Cole thinks it's cool, then we're doing something right.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for him he's on tour, so my people reached out to J. Cole, trying to get him on the podcast, and I'm going to do something, push that, kind of like ride that wave a little bit.
Yeah, he said some really cool stuff. I have it here. I'll read his quote, because for our listeners, this is J. Cole. He's talking. They asked him who he's listening to or who his favorite artists were.
Right.
Outside like the Biggie, Tupac, or whatever, and he said like this is gonna come from left field, but it's Killah Priest.
Wow. Wow.
He said, I played this song and shit. It's crazy. I don't know what the fuck to expect. I just clicked on it. It's 9.5 minutes. It's not the style that's normally the one I gravitate to. It's super dense. It's super, I'm not even going to say poetic. It's prose. It's like a book, damn near. And he's telling this story. So, I mean, that's high praise coming from a
lyrical genius like himself.
So
man.
You can imagine him like kind of dissecting your rhymes and stuff like that. Like, how does that make you kind of go, whoa, I did something that's touching people,
Yeah, that definitely. There's no greater feeling than an artist feeling what you put into it, because I felt that way, and it's like you never know how it's gonna go out. You just put it out, and I think it's the thing of pushing it out. And it made me feel like incredible, like, oh man, it caught. Just like I don't want to say put the bait on the hook and just fish it out there, but it's like, yo man, that's a good. That tells me that he's a real artist, because a lot of people could have said, yo, he's crazy. What is he talking about, And that's how it was. Like, I am crazy. What is he talking about? But it attracted likes, and he went into it, and I said, well, that's a real artist for you, and that make me feel great. Make me feel great and inspired.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the thesis of this podcast is like making stuff and putting it out there, and like I don't want to say like not doing it for money or not doing it for fame or something like that, but I'm saying like it's gonna hit somebody in a way that's powerful, and we want to inspire people to keep creating, especially times like now when things are kind of uncertain, about where the industry's going, where the technology is going, and things like that. And when things are uncertain, it's refreshing to know that people are looking back and going, "Did you hear that? Because I heard it."
Right, right, yeah, man. You saying it right, and then you have artists like yourself and me, and we still here, we still doing it. I think that's the inspiration. The inspiration is if it's getting recognized, then why stop? Keep going, and see where this craft end. We try to get to Nebula. Now we looking beyond Nebula. Andromeda.
We're going from footsteps to light speed. Right?
There you go.
How far can we go?
There you go.
I was just telling you in the car on the ride over here, it's like retirement is not a word that's in my vocabulary.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you just keep going, right? Because you can't exist without the creation,
Yeah. That's right. There's an old saying, there's no business like show business. That's because there's so many, we just keep creating and keep creating. Photography, rap, it's all the same thing. It's poetry in motion. So how could you put poetry in motion as the mind, you know what I'm saying, getting with the people, and that's like a pod in itself, putting out so they can see the art inside their mind, and it travels,
Right.
That's good.
Yeah, and you talked about, like feeding off of each other, right? Because there's visual language, there's auditory language, and there's movement language, and so like you and I represent two different sort of legs to that chair, you know.
Right.
And if you pull one of those legs out, the chair falls over. So.
Right. Like when you, like look at the video, Heavy or Mental. You came up with the concept, and you're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh my, you saw everything in it, and it's the whole vibe of it, and the whole, that's how it comes to, the beast comes, it's like the Trojan horse. We all put parts to it, and that's what it makes it, you know, it becomes life. It's, behold, it's just a body, and then we breathe the breath of life into it. And so it became a living thing. And then it walks, people listen to it, and then to it expires, who cares? It just keeps going. The spirit of that thing keeps going, and it keeps in the check.
So when you're writing, are you writing for yourself? Or are you writing for a version of yourself?
Yeah. I think I'm writing for to push a version of myself to a limit. And it's like we split up into personalities, and it's like, okay, if nobody attacked this subject, and it's hard to explain because I wake up at 3 a.m, and if it's a thought and it's clear, I just record, because I started learning how to record, and I don't have to wait on going to a studio. I think it gets distorted sometimes when you on a timeline, and when you just going, and you can just go and record. I just do it spontaneously, like now is the time. And so when I get a thought, it doesn't happen like that all the time. I can just jot down an idea and then go ahead and go with it.
Yeah, that's kind of like the thought gets degraded, and that's why they encourage you to journal and write, because it's like the longer you try to hold on to that thought, the more degradation it goes through.
Yeah.
And then it's a completely different thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I learned to get out of my own way. That's what I say. I said I move out the way so it can work. You know what I mean? So I don't even, no sound, no nothing, just don't block the movement of the creation. And then just go ahead, let it be what it is. And I don't critique it, or, you know, later I may edit it, but it's not too much critique because it came out just the way it's supposed to. Where it's up to the people now, you know.
So what inspires you? Like writings? Are you reading stuff a lot? Are you listening to stuff?
Yeah, the podcraft, I have a lot of interesting guests that come on, and I was always a fan of people like Jordan Maxwell before he passed away, and they speak on like astrophysics and putting things together. This world is crazy that we live in. It's like a simulation, like, you know.
The simulation. Like the Matrix.
Yeah, it's like
you had that guest on Sophia
Stewart.
Yeah.
Yes. She's very deep, man.
Yeah.
She's very deep. And, her mind is just, they go there. And I like to think outside the box, and I think those people live outside the box. So, you know, and I was always wondering, what if we get mostly great minds thinking together like that, all on one panel, and we just dab thoughts, you know?
Yeah.
My next thing is to travel with everybody. Imagine that. Go to Egypt or somewhere. A whole bunch of us.
Egypt?
So, yeah.
I'll go to Egypt.
Man, man, that'd be dope, man. Just like, you know, it could be like 4 or 5 days, and we just all figure it out. We come back, and we say, what did you see? I saw this. Yeah. It could be Mexico. Yeah, pyramids.
Yeah. Pyramids.
Yeah.
Some crazy space that just all of a sudden your mind opens up, right? Like,
Yeah.
I like how you say, like, outside the box thinkers, and I think that what attracts me to outside the box thinkers, because it's much more interesting than inside the box, right? Like, no shade to people who are comfortable inside the box, but it's just far more fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's scarier for sure, right? Like, 'cause
you just won't find us in there.
Yeah. in the box,
right?
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, respect for the in the box, but we just outside of it. It is outside, and
we're uncaged animals, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the will within the will. So there's a will outside. There's a counterclockwise, counterclockwise. Let's go this way. And that's what makes it work. That's what makes the whole thing to the UAP fly. You
The
know,
UAP.
Yeah, UAP. They changed the name. I don't know. I wonder why.
Did you get all excited because the government just released a bunch of that stuff? Did you get into that?
Man, I can't wait to see disclosure. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I knew it.
Can't wait to see it, man. Yeah, that's it. Things are real. I used to doubt, but I was like, why doubt? It's all here. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at it, like AD, he's into. You heard of Mercury retrograde and all that?
Yeah.
So I started getting
like
into that.
astrology?
Yes, I started getting into that because we live on the planet, and then traveling like those places, like going to Seattle and seeing those big glaciers over there in Alaska and the water, you go, wow. Even going through Cali, you go, mountains. We live on a planet, and a planet that's out there. We already out there. I said that. People say, yo, let's go to space. The Earth is in space.
Yeah, we're already in space.
I said, yeah, it's like we going out there because we out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you're not like saying like aliens exist. You're like, we are the aliens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Look at it like that. You got. Oh man, we have octopus, mimic octopus. You ever seen that? Oh yeah. The mimic octopus is crazy. It can change into like 15 other creatures. But what's nuts about it is that the octopus knows, it turns into like a poisonous snake, right? But it knows that other creatures are scared of it. So it's thinking like, oh, you don't like this. But how did the octopus find out the fear of any other fish or human? Like, that's crazy. That be tripping me out. Like, I think I was watching something on YouTube where the octopus again looked at the guy. He was diving. He was a deep diver, and he said the octopus came up to him and looked around, observing him, and said, "Oh, it's breathing through that," and went straight for the mouthpiece. Mm-hmm. Nothing else, just to pull it out because it knew the guy was breathing through that. That's crazy.
He's like, I know how to get you out of my home.
Yeah, out of my home. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Did you see that documentary, My Octopus Teacher? Or whatever?
No, that sounds dope.
Dude, you got to check that out.
Yeah.
There's a documentary. It won an Oscar, I think. It's called like My Octopus Teacher, and it's an octopus in the wild, and it's about this dude. And he like befriends this. You got to see it. So,
wow. I would love to see that. I want to check that out. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
You're talking about octopuses. I thought for sure that's where you were going with that.
Yeah. No, I'm with the octopus, man.
Dude, that's
one of the deepest.
Watch that documentary. If you're getting excited about it, you'll like that show.
Okay. Cuttlefish, octopus, all of those guys are like turning colors. Like, and it's not like how they turn, it's how they turn colors. They just whoop. They can touch one, they can look at it and turn into like half of their body is this color and look the shape of this mic, and the others like that, like they mimic to the T. That's what's crazy.
Well, what will really, is mind melting about that is like they didn't learn how to do that in a day.
Right. Wow.
They've been under the ocean for millions of years, and it took that long to learn that trait.
Right. And pass it in their DNA.
Yeah.
Unless they live that long.
No, they don't live that. No, it's very, very slow change over millions of millennia, right?
Yeah.
And so if you think about that, like if you're in a place where you're like, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, it's like you're not going to change color in a day, You got to keep working at it and keep writing that DNA so that you change later.
Right. So. Right, and then the offspring would just get it because there's like one.
Yeah, because they learned how to change colors because they kept getting eaten, right?
Yeah,
so they're
that's
like,
real. That's real. Yeah.
How do we stop getting eaten?
Right.
I'll look like this rock, and then they won't see me anymore, right? So,
that makes sense.
But it takes however long to get that going, right? So I mean, you talk about space and UAPs and all that stuff,
right?
We know more about space than we do the deep ocean. So,
yo, you said it right there, man. You said it right there.
This is, for the listener, this is what I'm talking about when we get all deep.
Yeah, it's the static, man. The static. Yo. I like that name, man. How did you come up with that? Because I'm thinking static is a dope name you don't hear a lot.
In the static,
yeah.
In the static came from child in the 90s and you watching television shows and like, I don't, you know, for the older listeners, you'd wake up and your TV would just be static. There'd be no clear image there, you know. And so I just thought of that image of like, there's nothing there, but there could be. There's a signal there. You just can't see it, you know.
Wow.
So as artists and creators, it's like, how do we take that static and create, you know, the visual frequency so that other people can see what we see, you know.
Right.
Because I think that most of creation is like in your head, in my head, the vision's there.
Right.
And it's our job to translate that to other people and be like, you got to see what I'm seeing because it's beautiful. You know?
Right. You know, that's crazy. At one time, TV went off. Remember?
Yeah.
Like they don't even know about that. Like,
at
now
night,
now it's like going straight through. But you know, I don't know, generation was generation X. What is it? What's this generation?
Gen Z.
Yeah, Gen Z. Yes, I would forget the name. But now it's like 24 because all right. So that's telling us that we must be becoming on an even higher frequency, like you said about the octopus.
Well, now it's satellite, right?
Now it's satellite.
I mean, it used to be cable through the ground.
Wow.
From a television station.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's all, you know, radio waves beamed from space. So I remember when there was only 3 channels, you know,
right.
And it was like whatever was on, you watched it.
Right.
And now you'll spend an hour scrolling through Netflix trying to find something to watch. It's like,
man, Fire Stick.
Yeah, so in the 30 years since, you know, Bible came out, the abundance of information and art that's out there has just multiplied like the fish changing color, right?
Yeah.
Like it started out from here but it's just moving at like a speed that we can't even comprehend. So.
Imagine that. That's the science. That's the science right there. You said 30 years before. I didn't realize that Bible was that old, man.
I didn't mean to make you feel old.
Yeah, that's dope. No, that's dope. That's dope.
Sometimes I don't think so either. You know.
Yeah.
Like the 90s, you know, especially because it's kind of like making a comeback now.
Yeah.
You hear like Jay-Z's coming to SoFi.
Yeah.
Because his first album is his 30-year mark too. So.
Wow.
Like everybody's having their 30-year moment, you know, and I just think the number 30 sounds so big, but it doesn't feel that long ago. You know?
Right.
Like to me, at least. I don't know how it feels for you, but
yeah, same. Yeah, 30 is.
But
man.
what you were in your 20s back then, right? So.
Yeah. That's wow. Hip hop has been rolling at that pace, you know, and it's like is a treat to be a part of that. And sometimes you got to step out of yourself to look at it and observe it, like have an out-of-body experience, like hover above yourself a little bit. And that's why the shamans was telling us that the whole time. Is like, or the Buddha, how he taught like separate yourself for mindfulness. So all of those is like one big book, and it's all part of the great plan, and we live on the plan it. And I like to, we play with words.
Plan it. I get, yeah.
Someone playing it. And they have ET at the end of the planet.
Yeah.
And so it was just crazy. We the extraterrestrials. Go all day, bro.
Yeah.
You know how we do.
I can see you like in the morning shower, and you're just like, plan it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a plan, man. All a plan.
Well, I mean, yeah, we talked about how far hip hop's come in the last 30 years and everything, and
Right.
how does it feel to be like, you are arguably on that, like you're in the written text of hip hop and like how it got shaped, and your name comes up in all facets of like this. This is where it went. This is how it evolved. I mean, like even from J. Cole himself and artists like Flea are saying, man, this guy got it going on. That's got to feel pretty good, right?
Great. Yeah, it feels great. I try not to, so I can continue. I try to forget it. It's there, but it's like a landmarks that you just keep on going. And because I don't feel like in my mind that I've reached to where I want to reach of what song is still there.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's a good thing that keeps me going. And it's like, it just keeps me creating like, and now I learn to slow it down a little bit. So I don't rush. I just let it come to me a little bit more now. And try not to look at the compliments in front of me. I just try to keep going. And that's what keeps it. I mean, I acknowledge it. And that's great. Man, for those artists that I look up to, Flea is a god in my
Oh yeah.
my word. You know, come on, that's Flea. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got his mark on the Hall of Fame. So Wu's gonna be in the Hall of Fame coming up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Sorry for the listener. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is inducting Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah,
You're very much a part of that. You want to share about that?
Yeah, that feeling is I was there from the whole beginning. I was in the studio, and there's footage online of them, creating Cream. I was right there. We was doing Cream, and it's dope because you saw the plan unfolding it, but never would I thought, like in our minds, that I knew it was something that that's going to be around. But when you look at it, like, man, we rubbing elbows with the likes of, like, I don't even want to say, like, I don't want to put Michael Jackson in, but we up there with, I'm just saying, to be in a room with Shaka Khan and
just
people
game
like,
changers.
Yeah, my moms, and they love those artists from back then, James Brown and Marvin Gaye, and to just be mentioned in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like the Beatles, they in there, they've been inducted. And I never thought we would be mentioned around that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, that's mind blowing, bro. I still don't want to think about it. It's like I run from it.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I was there, though. I'm just glad I was there.
But it's groundbreaking, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, like, hip hop for a while was like not considered. Like, we're not going to put that in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't think it's been too long since the first hip hop. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But
Run DMC probably.
Run DMC, yeah. So, and I personally know, like, friends and stuff. They like Wu-Tang is like a religion to some people.
Yeah,
and so that's
a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, lots of tattoos. I mean, like, the W is iconic. And even people who don't listen to hip hop or know anything about it would recognize that symbol, and so I think it's well deserved that they're getting in the Hall of Fame, and that recognition is really respect,
Right, man. Thank you so much, man. I just sit and I think about it. It's great, but always be motivated. You know what I'm saying? So that's for the audience. Never compromise your style or never compromise yourself from anyone. And always strive to push the best part of you. Even, when people recognize you, you just keep going. You just keep going. And you have the right mind state. We was talking about it on our way here. It's like there's no retirement in what we do. And if you don't compromise yourself and you keep a clear head of what you do and don't let substance or anything catch you up or mess up what you're set out to do, you're on the right. Because anything you put in your mind, if you could see it, you could perceive it. If you could perceive it, it can happen. It all can happen, and that's the part of the magic. That's the part of, that's what makes everything work. It's just like, this is how we're gonna do it. This is how I'm gonna put it there, and I'm not gonna stop. Every obstacle use it as a catapult to push you to the other. It's like a balloon. Put a balloon under the ocean and it will float to the top. If it has air in it, it's going to keep moving up, and that's how it is. You take those concepts and look at us, man. We just humans. We just spiritual beings having a human experience, and we're just here to keep making things our landmarks, passing out DNA, like you said. That octopus experience, that's the teacher, passing it on to each other. So those who came before us, we just keeping a legacy to go on to make better artists, to make greater music, to make greater photography, and just keep it going. Never stop.
Man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So tell us where we can find your stuff, like on YouTube, or you want to promote your show?
Yeah. So Killah Priest Podcraft comes on twice a week now, Thursdays and Sundays. We have a special version, so it's 3 times. So we have a special version on Wednesday, but that's ran by Knowledge Born, so you can catch it there, and catch new music on all platforms. I have a new album called Abraxas 2 that's out now, but I'm working on some new stuff. You know what I mean?
Abraxas 2.
Yeah, Abraxas. Yeah. So Abraxas 2 is out now on all platforms, and you can reach me at Killah Priest on Instagram. Real Killah Priest on Instagram.
Real Killah Priest.
Yeah,
all
Real
right.
Killah Priest on Instagram.
And you can find these episodes of In the Static on YouTube as well. Just search In the Static. And It's been a pleasure having you, man.
Man, this is great. Man, I love the vibe, and kicking it with you, man, it's always dope. It's always a pleasure, man.
And we're going to make a new video, so keep an eye out for that. We'll get it in the works. Yeah,
it's going to be exciting. It's going to be crazy. Yeah. Oh, man.
All right. Well, that's the show for In the Static this week. I'm Brandon Osborne. You can find me you can DM me on Instagram. It's OzziePhoto, OZZIEPHOTO. Send me a DM. Tell me what's good, what's bad, what you like, what you don't like, or just to say hi. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.
Yo, peace. Yeah,
That's In the Static. If this conversation meant something to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe wherever you listen. New episodes whenever the signal comes through.